Welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports, with me, Coach Ryan D. Jets get blown out and blown up by the Carolina Hurricanes, and the bunch of jerks storm through and take the Jets out of the air. Tough one for the Winnipeg Jets tonight. They were outshot 1,000,000,015, it felt like. I think it was something like 37-14 or whatever it was. It was crazy. The Carolina Hurricanes, we got a lot to talk about, but Jets fans, Carolina Hurricane fans, Jets fans, if this is your first time watching the Carolina Hurricanes play this year, they are the class of the NHL, top 3 team in the NHL right now, and that is how you do it and get it done, playing a team system. Rod Brind'amour has got these guys playing near perfect hockey. We're going to coaches break down all of this for you. We're going to talk about what went wrong for the Jets, what went right for the Hurricanes. We're going to talk about the fact that Paul Maurice says he likes to emulate and pay attention to the Carolina Hurricanes. We know he's been fired from there twice, but is he really doing a good job copying their systems? Little bit that the Jets can learn from the Canes tonight. Not a big deal losing tonight's game. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still just an Eastern Conference team. And we talked about this in our last review with the Jets and the Leafs. Usually these games aren't that physical. So if we go ahead and take that knee out of the equation that ended up happening, it really wasn't that crazy. It wasn't like Toronto and Winnipeg. So unfortunately, it looks as though the bounces didn't go your way. It looks as though the Jets didn't show up to play, but that's wrong. The Jets did show up to play. The Carolina Hurricanes just frustrated the heck out of them with smothering, absolutely smothering, and punishing team defense. So before we get into some of those breakdowns, the first thing I want to talk about is Winnipeg's own Seth Jarvis. Oh, I have gotten to see this kid play since he was 12. I've got to be behind the bench when Seth was playing. What up, Jarvis? If for some reason you ever watch this, you wouldn't. You're an NHL player. You got important stuff to do, kid. Seth Jarvis, I was sitting there cheering at the 10th overall pick when we ended up taking Perfetti in that draft, going Jarvis, Jarvis, Jarvis. We didn't end up taking Jarvis. We went for the center. That's fine. Perfetti is a heck of a talent. But here's my gripe with it. Seth Jarvis is playing on one of the best teams in the NHL, and he can play in a middle six role with this team and contribute and score. And boy, does he look fast, doesn't he? He's been that fast forever, Jets fans. What this guy can do with the puck at speed would blow your mind in real life if you were standing there on the ice next to him. Blew my mind. Kid was better than me by the time he was 12. What Seth Jarvis can do at speed is exquisite. And the fact that Cole Perfetti is as good, if not maybe better than Jarvis. I mean, he made Team Canada at 18. Jarvis didn't. He was drafted 3 draft positions ahead of Jarvis. He's a centerman. But for some reason on the Winnipeg Jets, the 19th ranked team in the NHL, he can't crack the lineup because guys like Dominic Tonnato, guys like Riley Nash, who just got sent back, have to go ahead and clog up this lineup, and Cole Perfetti can't get in there. Yet Seth Jarvis makes one of the best teams in the league and is a contributing factor and will not be released for Team Canada in the World Juniors because he is too important to his team. That should tell you a lot. One of two things is happening. Either Chevy drafted the wrong guy, which I don't necessarily think is true. I think Perfetti and Jarvis are both very good players. Just because I would rather have Jarvis because I'm biased and I'm a Jarvis fan doesn't mean Perfetti won't end up being the better player in the long run. Plus he's a centerman. Or Paul Maurice just has no idea how to get rookies into the lineup. And Rod Brind'amour of the Carolina Hurricanes, the Jack Adams Award winner, seems to know how to do it. Wonder what's going on. We'll talk more about coaching as we break down these games. So first things first. We talk in these games about the fact that hockey is a 2-on-1 game. That means no matter where you are on the ice, whether you're playing offense or defense, you want to create and cause 2-on-1 scenarios. Let's go ahead and take a look at this goal by Sebastian Aho, and let's take a look at some of the systems that are being run by Carolina that ends up generating this goal. So the first thing you're going to see here is everywhere that you go, it's a 2-on-1. Everything is a 2-on-1. Look at the read and reaction from the Carolina Hurricanes. No matter where the puck is, there is always 2 Carolina Hurricanes to the Winnipeg Jets 1, and it actually ends up causing a turnover here in favor of Carolina. Now we see the puck end up getting cycled down low, and the key thing to note is that there were only 2 players down low. Let's go a little forward. We have 3 players up high. We call this a 3-2. This is a very unique system. This is new in the NHL. It's only been around a couple years where you actually end up putting a forward up there with your defenseman. defenseman and you only pressure with 2 guys as opposed to a 1-2-2. This means that when the Jets panic down low and try to move the puck up the wall like they did, you actually are able to outnumber them at the top, and it's a very aggressive system because you can keep the puck in the zone. We see it end up playing through. They get an unabated shot in the middle, and the shot isn't the dangerous part. What ends up being the dangerous part is, look, you 3 Carolina Hurricanes coming down here, and they are going to end up outnumbering the Jets in all the right areas, and Sebastian Aho scores. There's the battle. Puck goes in the net. And we can see it taking place on special teams as well, too. Even when they are down 5-4, the Carolina Hurricanes always send 2, if not 3. They want to outnumber you on every single puck and cut off angles of the ice. And even on the Pierre-Luc Dubois goal on the power play, we can see a great example of Carolina doing this. So let me go ahead and show you that goal by Pierre-Luc Dubois and what I mean by Carolina is willing to be so aggressive that, you know what, you end up getting the puck through our 2 to 4 guys in your way. Congratulations, you get the goal. Great example of this because Luc Dubois scores a nice one for the Jets. All right, so we see here right away that they put pressure right to the top. They have no problem sending 2 up top, and they have no problem sending 2. Look, 2-on-1. Okay, they end up not turning the puck over, and Luc Dubois ends up scoring. But that is the heart and soul of the Carolina system. They're just going to pressure, and that's the way the NHL is played today. That is a very modern system. We want the puck. When we don't have it, we're causing 2-on-1s. If you can pass it through all of us, even shorthanded, go ahead. You got a chance to score, because playing the game that way will allow you to generate way more chances. And they proved it tonight. I mean, sure, they scored, but Carolina won the game. All right, and let's talk about special teams here. We've been talking about the Jets penalty kill for quite some time now. The Jets penalty kill second last in the NHL. They're just not aggressive enough, not playing enough of a unit. And this Carolina game is just such an awesome example to share with all of you, my wonderful Jets fans on this channel, as to what I mean by aggressive penalty kills and great penalty killing tendencies. This is not individual efforts from player. This is a coaching area, and this is an area that teams must execute on as a unit. So let's go ahead and go to split screen. And the first thing you're going to see here is that Carolina doesn't just back into their zone. They stack 4 guys on their blue line at all points of time. If you're wondering why it was so hard for the Jets to get anything going on that 5-minute power play they had, it's because this aggressive line stack forces you to dump the puck in. If you dump the puck in on a power play, that's a problem, because you can go ahead. It's a puck in dispute, and you can send your penalty killers after that puck and clear it out. And that happened to the Jets over and over and over on this 5-minute power play. They generated almost 0 offense because Carolina, even though they were down a man, were always up a man. It was always 2-1 Carolina, man on man, when the puck was loose. So let's go ahead, play this through, and I'll show you what I mean. There's the line stack and a unique ability for the Jets to be able to carry. And look, boom, 2 players, 3 players on 2, 2 players on 1. That's incredible. It was a 2-on-1, a 3-on-2, and then a 2-on-1, and Carolina's down a man. That is how you kill penalties. Jets fans, the way you beat that, the way you beat it is you got to drop the puck to your last man. Your last man has to carry that into the zone. You need to fire it hard around the boards and send 3 guys. You got to know that that's what you're doing. You got to send 3 guys to that wall, 4 guys to that wall, and you have to outnumber them. Heck, send 5. You have more players than they do. You need to know where the puck's going. You're on offense when you're dumping it in, and you need to send multiple and minimum 3 players on that puck. Jets didn't do it. All right, so here's what I mean about you want to have your last man carrying it in. So it's great that the Jets have their head man here carrying the puck in normally, but again, you're going to see the 3-line stack. They're all aggressively across the blue line. You can see there's actually a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-2. You don't want this on a power play. You got to outnumber them. There's nowhere to drop the puck here. There's nothing to do but to dump it in. And even if you dump it in, you got poor Andrew Kopp here on the bottom who's going to play a 1-on-1. You're not going to win those battles, and that is just penalty killing to a T. So what you want to do is actually leave this back here, and it's normally Neal Pionk or Nick Ehlers that ends up taking that. You want to leave it for your last man and drop pass until your 5th man can carry the zone. So as Ehlers ends up carrying it through, you'll see the 4 men now have boxed out in a very tight, small box below the hash marks, almost all 4 guys below the hash marks, just 1 guy. And they have turned this into a 4-on-2. So basically Carolina is saying, come at us, bro. If you can move this over to Andrew Kopp, who's over here, or up here to Paul Stastny, congrats, you get a shot, but we don't think you're getting it through our 4 guys. And then once again, the puck transition sides, we get a nice little interesting shot there off of the blocker. And again, we're back to a 4-on-2. You got to send 4 more Jets down low at this point. That's just what you have to do. And they're already ready to take away this wide behind the net play. They are aggressively attacking the Jets' normal angles at this point. All right, here's another example of it. The Jets are running a 1-3-1 system here. That means they got 1 down low, 3 across the middle where the cursor's going, and the other one is up top. But look at this tiny, tiny box. The Jets box on a penalty kill is usually quite large, but what this is doing is you can see the passing lanes here that they're taking away. There's nowhere for Blake Wheeler to go with this puck, and what you're going to end up doing is forcing the puck down here to Pierre-Luc Dubois, but then again, you have 2 players ready to pinch him off again. The best play that Wheeler could make with this puck right now is a hard rim around the back to Nick Ehlers here on the bottom. Moves it to Dubois. Puck finally comes up to Ehlers. The Jets generate a good shot, but again, 3-on-2 down below. And folks, on the penalty kill, you expect your goalie to stop those shots. It's not a dangerous shot. Then you send your 3 killers down there. You pick up the puck and you're gone. Okay, conversely, let's take a look at the Jets here. Look at how spread out they are and how spread out their box is right now. The puck is over here in the top right corner at the shooter position. As we let the play move through, you'll see they're able to actually penetrate the end of the middle. And I talk about this all the time. I call this like a stacked, like a reverse T, as you will. The Jets love to stack 2 players on top of each other with the penalty kill. I don't know what this is. I haven't known what this is for 2 years since Paul Maurice is running it. This is a trash system. I know I'm not an NHL coach, but it's junk. And the Jets penalty kill percentage has proven that time and time again. It's a junk system. They give up the shooters, and the shooters are right here. You can see my mouse circling around them. 24, Jarvis. Jarvis on the power play. Of course he's on the power play, 19-year-old kid. The shooters are wide open. Hellebuck has to look around to screen. Beautiful play over to Jarvis. And look, the Jets have him outnumbered down below, but Necas is able to put it in. I hope you can see the stark difference that I'm seeing here and what I'm trying to, show the viewers here on this channel. There's a very big difference between the Jets penalty kill and the Canes penalty kill. And a lot of times when we're talking about this, Jets fans, we're talking about, hey, if I just change the line combinations, or if the Jets just have will, or if Coach Ryan D would just have faith in the Jets. That's not how hockey works. I have a ton of faith in the Jets. I think the Jets are a cup contender. I love the Jets. I love them till I'm dead. But I'm a pragmatic hockey YouTuber, and I'm a pragmatic hockey coach, and I know great hockey when I see it. And what Carolina is doing right now is controllable by the coach. It's controllable by the players. These are systems that you can develop, and there is no way that I believe the Carolina players, top to bottom, are that much better than the Winnipeg Jets players. They're not. Winnipeg's got one of the best teams in the league. They're just not playing systematically, and they haven't been for 2.5 years, and this year has been no exception. They're slightly better because the personnel is better. They just haven't been playing systematically the way they need to play on the power play, on the penalty kill, or 5-on-5. And you can see the great hockey habits of the Carolina Hurricanes as instilled from them by Rod Brind'amour, who had those habits himself as a player, really bleeding through this team, and that's why they're so good. Go ahead and start naming me players on the Carolina Hurricanes that you know about and everybody talks about. Nobody talks about Necas. He's one of the fastest players in the league. No one really mentions Trocheck outside of Carolina. Absolutely huge depth piece at center. No one talks about the defense. No one really even knew that Freddie Anderson moved down there and switched with the Leafs, and he's having a career year. And that is because it's a team. The Carolina Hurricanes are just playing as a solid unit, as a team. The Winnipeg Jets can definitely do this, but it's been 2.5 years of the same thing, guys. The Jets had a great run against Toronto. They had a great run against the Devils. They went 4 points out of 6 against the Eastern Conference. That's totally acceptable. It's totally fine. But if the Winnipeg Jets want to win a Stanley Cup, they're going to have to do better. And if as a fan, you're comfortable with the performance and coming in anywhere between 4th and 2nd in the division, making the playoffs, maybe making a round or 2 here and there, then no problem. You'll love the product that's on the ice. You'll have a good time. There's always a puncher's chance. But if you demand a Stanley Cup, Winnipeg, and you should demand a Stanley Cup, they got to play better than this. And the arguments that I normally see, like, hey, Winnipeg fans, we should just be happy we have a team. Maybe we'll lose our team if we don't. Stop with that. The NHL costs a lot. The Jets make a lot of money. The Jets are doing well. They got a ton of season ticket holders that are in there. They got a ton of guys like me buying jerseys behind them. Mark Chipman is not poor. David Thompson is not poor. There's no threat of the Jets moving. We are allowed to demand a better on-ice product for our money. Spend thousands of dollars a year on the Jets. I'm allowed to come on YouTube, give you my opinions on it. You as a fan are allowed to cheer for them regardless of their performance, and you're allowed to complain about them regardless of their performance. So in this game, there is a few things that, you can nitpick, and we nitpick them. Until those things get better, though, you're going to see a very large trend on this YouTube channel with these videos because you got to fix them. If you don't fix them, you're going to win a game, you're going to lose a game, and you're going to be battling for 4th and 5th spot in wild card positions. And then you're going to play teams like the Colorado Avalanche. I know we don't play the Carolina Hurricanes, but maybe you see them in a cup final kind of thing, or the Minnesota Wild, who just do these little things better. But the Canes, thanks for the show here. Jets, 4 wins out of 6. Like, subscribe, join us.